I hope people will be able to join and the wind won't affect the stream like it used to. It's kind of windy, but not too windy. I don't feel good when I'm not drinking water, man, especially when it's like this hot. One of the biggest questions that a person who watch my videos, would ask themselves is, Joe Slice, thanks for joining, brother. Thanks for joining. One of the biggest questions that tell me if the audio is good actually, because it's a bit windy. So yeah, one of the biggest questions that people who watch my videos will ask themselves is, if this really is a hell room, if I view this as a hell room, where am I still participating? Why am I still doing the things that other people are doing? Sometimes they might go as far as say, why are you still here? Like if it's hell and you've figured it out, why are you still here? And it might sound like a valid question to ask, and maybe to some degree it is, but I want to show you how complicated things are in this realm. One of the biggest problems about existence is that you have found yourself within a reality that seems to be a part of you somehow. Like it's not something that you can just be like, okay, let me detach myself from it, and you are detached from it. It seems to be a part of you somehow. You know, you watching this video right now, this seems to be happening within. Like you might say, no, it's not actually happening within. Like I'm not watching something that is happening within my mind. Obviously, Benedictine, you're in South Africa. I'm in New Zealand, I'm in Canada, I'm in California. But it does feel like this is happening inside of you. It does feel like somehow you are projecting reality, but also reality is responding to you. And even if you decide that I'm going to stop watching Benedictine now, you will still have to be experiencing reality. So that should make you wonder, what is reality? So let's just say I decide today that, you know what, I think that the only way to stop experiencing this is is through death. Like that will literally be the only way. While that seems like it is, because we still don't understand what reality is, we're still not being given answers, that still could be a trap. And I could decide that I'm gonna leave early because, well, I realized that this is how, right? But you find that I have not done enough work to face whatever I'm going to get to face next. Sometimes I look at this as an opportunity to make myself stronger, to experience the worst and still come out and be like, it doesn't affect me anymore. It doesn't faze me anymore. You know, I've been betrayed. I've been made to look stupid. I've been embarrassed, and none of it fazes me anymore. Like I'm no longer afraid of facing real embarrassment. I'm no longer afraid of being misjudged, being misunderstood. I'm no longer afraid of, people who are gaslighting me and all of that. I think these are the things that we must conquer while we're still here. Because a person can decide that, you know what, man, I want all of this to end because someone cheated on me. Let me give you an example. Someone cheated on me, and because of that, I want all of this to end. I'm angry. What if I don't, if I don't battle that until it doesn't hurt anymore, and until even if it happens again, it will never hurt anymore? What if I'm not preparing myself enough as consciousness itself, whatever I am, like as consciousness itself? What if I'm not preparing myself enough for whatever I would find myself facing next? So I'm affected by these small things that if you look at them deeply, you realize that they shouldn't really affect us. You're offended because someone made some silly comments about you. Sometimes you'll be offended because someone made silly comments about you online, right? Like it's a big deal, but really it's not. If you ended up doing something horrible because of that and you end up in prison, you realize that it was something that you could have easily avoided and something that you could have forgotten and never even, had to think about. I think the things that matter are the things that we are taking seriously. And I look at this as an opportunity to detach myself so that I'm so damn strong that no matter what I face, I'm not afraid, right? I don't have this fear that I can't control when I'm facing things, because I believe that whatever level of consciousness I'm going to reach while I'm still here, I'm not going to lose that. I might lose my memories, I might, after this life, I might not know who I was. I might not know that I've existed before, but I believe that the improvements that I'm going to make while I'm still here are going to help me in my next incarnation, because I don't think this is the end. I think if it was all there is, if this really was it, we will have the answers. Things will make sense. So the reason why we don't have answers is because this is like, it's more like a simulation. Like if you are in a simulation within a simulation within a simulation you can't really get clear answers about what is really going on, right? So I'd say that's how reality is. We don't have clear answers because it's not, we are not in base reality. If there's something that I can teach myself in my dreams, and I remember I've been telling you guys that in my dreams these days, I'm not a coward. I remember the dream that I had last night. I almost got hit by this guy who was driving a taxi, right? So I gave him the finger because I was mad, like, because he was clearly wrong. So I gave him the finger, so he stopped. The taxi drivers are ruthless in my country. So he stopped the taxi. He got outside, confronted me, and we started to fight. I didn't back down. I wasn't like try to negotiate with him, all of that. Like it was war. I woke up immediately. But that's what's important, is that if I'm able to protect myself in my dreams and behave in a way that I'm proud of in my dreams, it means also in this reality I'm also going to be able to behave in ways that I'm going to be proud of in the end. So if I'm teaching myself the right things all the time, whenever I find myself having to deal with a test, because sometimes I look at some of my experiences as tests. I find myself in a situation where I could either be this person who's very fearful and is making a decision because out of fear, right? You find that the decision itself is influenced by fear. Oh, I'm like, you know what, man? I want my decision to be influenced deeply by intention. by love, by what I'm like, what do I want? What do I want the outcome to be? So if I keep on training myself daily to choose to do what I intend to do without letting fear stop my intentions, and I'm gonna take that with me after I'm gone, why shouldn't I try to focus on that? Even if I'm suffering now, even if I'm losing now, why should I not try to drag this for as long as I can while building a strong mindset that might help me even after this, right? That's what I'm telling myself. Because I think there are things that still affect us that I don't know if they should be affecting us, right? You hear that someone gossip about you and you don't sleep at night. You're thinking about them, like you gossiped about me. You're like, it's nothing. It's really nothing. These are not the kind of things that should be worrying you. So if it still does, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, because we might find ourselves dealing with similar things in other realms, right? Like you might find yourself dealing with similar things in other realms. So you still care what the people think. You find yourself in realms where you still care. And so you find yourself in realms where you're still dealing with the same things or even worse, right? And you're still affected by these things. A lot of things that people like are hating people in this realm don't even matter. I can tell you what should hate you. What must hate you is that you're in a realm that you didn't ask to be brought into. Like you're in a realm that you didn't consent to be brought into. That should hurt you. That is a big, like that is a serious problem, right? What should hurt you is that you don't understand anything. You don't understand what's going on, what you're supposed to be doing. What should hurt you is that you can suffer, right? You can get sick, suffer physically, other conscious beings can do what. Those are the things that should hurt you. But if you heard that someone gossiped about you or someone betrayed you, I understand why these things hurt us as conscious beings. But I think in this lifetime, we must work on detaching ourselves to a point where these things don't hurt us anymore. Because these are the things that are being used in this realm to make us produce lose. I think you wouldn't be producing any luge if, maybe some level of luge, but you wouldn't really be producing luge if you weren't coming across these situations. You see? Oh, hello. No, I don't get anything on me right now. So, you want what? Close. Sure. So, if we are working constantly on detaching ourselves from minor things that are hurting us, like constantly, that's what like you're working on. I do believe that you'll be winning, you'll be conquering, because trust me, man, like people be stressing about minor things. People are not stressing about existence, bro. Go on Facebook right now. See what your friends are stressing about. They're stressing about fake friends, Yeah, I have a fake. Yeah, you got fake friends. It's a hell realm. What do we expect? There will always be fake friends. Hey, my girlfriend, this and that, or my boyfriend, this and that, or this person, dumped me, or nobody loved, all these kind of things. These are things that we need to conquer while we're still here. It needs to get to a point where I don't care if I'm loved or if I'm not loved. Like if I can reach, because that is freedom. Whether I realize it or not, that is actual freedom. Can you imagine if it didn't matter to you whether you were loved or not? Like, is that not freedom? Right? doesn't that actually make you stronger by default, right? You're no longer carrying this burden of like wanting and seeking approval all the time. Like you always want people to say, hey man, you're good enough. Hey man, you are worthy of love. Hey man, you deserve this and that in the world. Hey man, people must be thinking about you 24/7. You know what I'm saying? It's a burden. The things that should be worrying people are things that uh, are directly linked to existence itself. Well, what is this? Where do we come from? What are we supposed to be doing? How do we set ourselves free? You know, these are the things that you should be stressing about. These are the things that should keep you awake at night. You shouldn't be kept awake at night because someone didn't text you back and you can't sleep. And I'm not saying I don't understand it, because it's something that we deal with as conscious beings, right? It's something that I deal with. It's something that it's something that I'm working on detaching myself from, and I can tell you that a lot of that don't like hurt me like it used to anymore, and that shows that there's improvement, right? Because sometimes you care about things because you believe they matter, like you've been telling yourself that, oh, it matters, so it must affect me because it actually matters. But why does it matter? It only matters because you told yourself that it does. But like I'm telling you that there are things that actually matter, like questions that are directly linked to existence itself. Those are the questions that need to be answered. So these are the things that you should be thinking about. These are the things that you should be stressing about. So I teach myself every day to detach myself from things that don't matter, that I've told myself matter. You know? Things that I've lied to myself, telling myself that, oh, these things actually matter. I'm a stress because I didn't get that girl. You know, she's supposed to be the love of my life, this is my soulmate and this and that. It doesn't. It doesn't even matter at all, bro. Some things only matter because you told yourself they matter. There are things that matter to you that don't matter to other people, and that's a sign that they don't really matter. I mean, yes, there are things that won't matter to some people just because they've never given themselves time to see these things for what they are. But there are things that they truly understand that don't matter to them because they don't actually matter. And if you're not even thinking about these things, you won't be affected. But even if you don't think about existence, even if you don't think about where we come from and what is really going on, it doesn't mean that you won't be affected. It doesn't mean that one day you ain't gonna die and not find yourself wherever you're gonna find yourself, you know, still dealing with existence and probably still not having the answers that you're looking for, right? So these are the things that we should be thinking about. What is death? Do we actually die? Is death even possible? Someone asked me to talk about quantum immortality. And it's a very scary concept, really, like when you think deeply about it. I remember I told you that last year I had this weird dream where, I got involved in a car accident. It seemed real, bro. It seemed real. I got hit by this car and I was making videos. This was crazy. I was making a video and I got hit by a car. And then I woke up in my bed and I was like, that didn't feel like a dream. It felt like it was real, but I wasn't supposed to die. So maybe a reset happened, So reality started again. So I'm thinking that, it was just a dream, right? We must ask ourselves these questions. What if we don't actually die? What if quantum immortality is really a thing? Whenever you reach a point where you are supposed to die or where you actually die, reality resets itself the same way that it happened in video games, like when you're playing a video game, right? So you continue and you might ask yourself, okay, if quantum immortality is a thing, what happens when I get old? Because obviously at some point I must die, right? But what if they create a simulation that they force all of us to live in, or what something similar to rapture happened. So you don't actually experience death. Your life just keeps on continuing. Or you just wake up and feel like it was just a dream. Because that's the thing about consciousness, is that it fools itself. Like it sucks that you can have an experience that feels totally real, and you wake up from this experience and you be like, it was just a dream. Like really, it was a dream, but it felt completely real. It felt like I was having like a real experience. These days, I no longer take my dreams for granted. Wake up from a dream and be like, it was just a dream. I tell myself that it was real. You know what I'm saying? If I had a dream where I was married to Beyonce, dude, I wake up and be like, I was married to that to that lady. I'm no longer gonna tell myself that it's just a dream. Because it felt real. Let me ask you a question. Was yesterday real? Or you only feel like it's real because of the continuum, right? Because what happened yesterday, uh, what happened yesterday, you still remember it, and it's affecting what is happening today. But what if you were in a dream? What happened yesterday wouldn't be affecting what will be happening in your dreams, right? So really, every experience is real as long as that's how it feels. As long as it's an experience. Even if it doesn't feel real, it's an experience, right? So it's real on that level, right? You are having an experience, but it's also not real because it's an illusion. So it's real because it's an experience. So as an experience, it's real, but you are experiencing an illusion. So it's also not real. I hope this is not too damn complicated. But yeah, understanding these kind of things is very important. Understanding these kind of things is what's keeping me going. I'm like, I gotta understand this. Because there have been times before where I was like, man, I just wish all of this was over. 2018, 2019. I wouldn't understand the things that I understand today. And if we keep on coming back, I will come back as naive as I was, because I wouldn't have taken my time to learn what is important to learn. But me deciding that, what, man, I'm gonna keep on fighting, for as long as I can. I was able to learn these things, and I don't believe that we can forget. I can forget some experiences, but I don't forget who I am in this sense. And this is very important to realize. It's something that I was thinking about yesterday. I was like, even if I have a dream where I'm a goat, so I forgot that I'm a human, so I'm having a dream where I'm a goat, I'm still operating at the level of consciousness that I've reached. So even if I believe that I'm a goat, I'm still operating at the level, meaning that I will still be asking myself deep philosophical questions. What is a goat? Why am I in this form? You know what I'm saying? So it matters what level of consciousness I can reach as a sentient being, as consciousness itself. But if I'm like, it's a hell realm, yeah, my girl downed me, I got nothing left and all. What if I find myself in a reality that's similar to this, and I go through the same things and they affect me? Because I have not set myself free from the pain that comes with that level of attachment. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm still attached. So meaning that in my next life, I'm still gonna have a girlfriend that's gonna dump me, and I'm still gonna be stressing about that because I have not reached the level of consciousness that makes it easy for me to be that detached, to understand that there's nothing that I can truly own in this reality or in reality itself. I was having a conversation with someone about movies. I was like, we think things can actually be recorded, and I don't think they can. I think things change, even movies themselves. Because when we were young, we would watch movies, like you watch a movie. Okay, let's do this experiment. Watch a movie that you watched when you were like 12. Watch it, let's just say now you are 22, you are 32, watch the same movie, you'd realize that it doesn't really feel the same. Like something about it is different. There are videos that you've recorded last night. You might notice some details that you didn't notice when you're recording. You'll be saying, I just missed this detail and all that. I think reality changes. So nothing can truly be owned in a reality that isn't stable, in a reality that isn't solid. This doesn't feel solid to me. This doesn't feel solid. And these are some of the things that we must realize as conscious beings as we continue to have this experience that we're having. It seems to me that even the past does change, and you'll be like, no, it doesn't. Like, it actually does. That is why people believe that there is what they call Mandela effect, right? Guys, let's keep on liking the live. I may have to switch off the camera for a while. Let's keep on liking the live. And we are back. Someone asked me if I can read comments. Of course. Yamaria, thanks for the... It's Yamari. Thanks for the super thanks. No, I can read comments. And I'm still gonna read them. This reality needs us to have this, like, a deep desire to learn, to understand. Like, we should stop taking the world the way that we're being programmed to take it. We must not look at our experiences the way that we're programmed to look at them. It's one of the biggest mistakes that we're making, is that we're allowing the world to tell us how to view it. It's a very huge, like, it's a big mistake, bro. Like, it's a big mistake. You're allowing the world to brainwash you. You must try to look at the world from the eyes of a child, without listening a lot to what others are saying. Like, yeah, that's what you think about what happened, but I'm gonna tell you what I think. Or even if you don't tell them, but you try to figure out what you think, right? Because there can never truly be growth if you're viewing reality the same way that everyone views reality. Because we know that in most cases, the majority of people are wrong. That's why they keep on voting for the wrong people. Like, it gets to a point where it's just to them ridiculous. You're like, damn, man, you couldn't see that there was a wrong person to vote for? Just because the guy is able to bully people, is funny, and you... You confuse strength with what you are programmed to respond to as a human. So if there's this guy who's bullying everyone, you're like, oh, that means strength, and you're gonna vote for him. While there are actual intellectuals who will come up with solutions that will actually change things for the better. So yeah, to understand reality, you can't be listening to other people. It just can't work. Like, you need to be listening to yourself, listening to your intuition. And if you are wrong, then be it. At least you are doing the right thing, which is listening to your intuition, listening to yourself. It means that you have a better chance of getting it right than everyone else, right? Maybe you'll get it right next time because you are already thinking the way that you should be thinking as a conscious being. You are already operating at the level that you should be operating on as a conscious being, you see? You wanna appear? It's a selfie, so you wanna appear. Sure. So you need to be operating at a level of consciousness where you take yourself seriously, man. Like, who should you take seriously? It needs to get to a point where you give yourself the final authority. Because who should have the final authority? Like, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they give power to other people. Like, some people must have the final authority. If you think reality is a simulation and that's what makes sense to you, then that's what you think. You mustn't be like, ish. But, this person that I used to trust says that it's not, and they're doing this kind of science. And, like, no, man. What makes you think that you must trust science? But like, yeah, I must trust science because science proves. Like, no, not really. There are things that science cannot prove. If this is a simulation, science cannot prove that this is a simulation. If this is a dream, science cannot prove that this is a dream. Because all the laws of physics are actually within the are created by within the dream itself, right? So even science is part of the dream. So you don't prove through science that you are dreaming. It's gonna take a lot more for you to actually realize the truth. That is why I focus a lot on philosophy, because even though you, as an ego, whatever you call yourself, you are having this experience, there's also the one who's observing that seems to be outside, right? So there's the one who thinks, who needs to decide what this is. The one who's observing, the one who's having the experience. You don't know where your thoughts come from, but the one who's observing the thoughts, it seems like he's actually outside of the dream, outside of the simulation. But yeah, in the end, man, look at this as a game and realize that the only way to win is to figure out what the heck this is yourself. Not relying on other people, not relying on science, like what other people like that you think are smart and successful have like realized and all of that. It will just confuse you, you know. You'll be confused. I've watched a lot of videos on solipsism, probably like maybe every video that has been made on YouTube about solipsism. And I've realized that when people talk about solipsism, they will quote some of the most famous philosophers, you know. Like, Descartes said that, how can I be sure of this? And you'll be like, why do you even have to quote someone? It's not like, this reminds me of this other TikToker. He said something that I thought was funny. He was like, he was like, he was like, like these famous people that like from the past that we are worshiping, I will have discovered the things that they discovered if I was like the third person to ever, live on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Like we praise them as if they've discovered something to them deep. It's like, no, any person will have discovered what they've discovered. So another problem is that people want to give authority to other people. So you look at the things that Descartes has discovered and you're like, it's not something that we should be quoting him. Like every time you want to make a video on solipsism, you have to quote Descartes. Like, nah, but but it shows that we want to give power to other people. We're like, okay, this one was a famous philosopher, so it means we must trust this person more than we trust others. And that is why people respect those who are already respected in society. You know, like, yo, what are your credentials, right? Before they even communicate with you, what are your credentials? Like, they don't think that it's possible that you could be someone who didn't become successful, but who actually has something that they can actually learn a lot from. So to me, it's about figuring out what is really, really going on. Now, every day when I wake up, these are the questions that I'm asking myself. When I have an experience, I'm asking myself, why am I having this experience? What's causing this experience? Is it random? Did I receive a text from this person that I have not spoken to in like 3 months? Is it really random? Or there's more to it? Why today? And then I watch how things unfold that day. See if there are no weird things that are going to be happening. And sometimes I will intentionally ignore people. Like, for example, if I haven't spoken to someone in like a year and they text me, I'll intentionally ignore them just to see if something else isn't going to happen, to make sure that I get to meet them and I talk to them. And sometimes it does. So this person texts you, you ignore them, but something crazy happens. You are in Johannesburg, there's many people in Johannesburg, you meet them, and you're like, oh, I was supposed to meet them, I was supposed to talk to them, now I can't avoid talking to them. And sometimes you might even push it to be like, you know what, I'm still not going to talk to them, I'm still not going to take them serious, I'm just going to greet them and tell them I'm in a hurry. If they must be in your life, they'll end up in your life, bro. The next thing you hear is that they live in the street next to yours, and you're like, what? How come? Yeah, that's how reality works. It seems to me that things that are meant to happen will always try to find a way to happen, you know? No matter how hard we try to avoid these things. This reminds me of the movie, like Final Destination movies. Especially the last Final Destination movie. There's this old lady who figured out how to avoid a karma. How to avoid the demon that was killing people, that could have killed her. So she was living in a house where she was basically a prisoner. She was able to predict how this demon was going to try to kill her. But in the end, she realized that she can't win. She had a granddaughter who had the same visions that she had. And finally, she went to her house. And yeah, it got to a point where she just couldn't avoid her fate. And it happened. She died. Then the granddaughter decided, it was a granddaughter, it was not a daughter if I'm not mistaken. So the granddaughter decided to use the same methods that a grandmother was using to avoid death. And it got to a point where it even felt like she's conquered death, like she's been able to beat karma. But now, she ended up dying horribly. So we must ask ourselves why some experiences persist. Why do I keep on experiencing some things? Why I can't avoid some things, right? Why I can't avoid some feelings? Why is it that sometimes when I'm having a good day, and And you find that I haven't stressed that day. I haven't thought any negative thoughts. Something happens to make me think negative thoughts. But like, I ain't supposed to think negative thoughts at all today. But something happened that what is not even supposed to happen. You hear that your mom collapsed, she's in a hospital. Yeah, what the hell? Now I can't avoid it. Now I have to, now I have to be scared. Now I have to give this realm the loose that it wants. You'd be like, why does it happen on a day that I'm not stressing about nothing? Usually when things are going well for me and I'm not stressing about anything, I become a bit suspicious. Like, what's gonna happen? Right? Because there's nothing that I'm stressing about at all now. And then boom, something truly unexpected happens, and you're like, it was a setup. This reminds me of this meme from The Simpsons. So they show Homer Simpson, looking like suspicious, and on the caption they said, "When things are going too well for 3 days." Like, now you're surprised, you're not used to that. So you're like, nah, man, something is wrong. Things can't go this well for that long. It's like if there was a person who was harassing you. Let's just say you had an ex that was harassing you every day sending you messages. You block them, they use another number, send you messages. Like, you find that it happens like that for over a month, right? The day that they're not gonna do that, you'll be suspicious. Like, what's going on? You'll actually be scared. What if they're planning some crazy shit now because they're no longer doing that? That's how it works in this realm, man. So, taking our time to learn about how reality actually works is a good thing, right? Being brave enough to confront reality without making a lot of assumptions. You just confront it. I might need to use I might need to pause the video. I don't need to use another street because they're playing music, and that sometimes with YouTube and copy, you can get copyright strike. So I'm not even pause the video. I'm gonna switch off the mic. I'm just gonna switch off the mic and show you what's in front of me. Actually, today is a Heritage Day, so I'm thinking of showing you how people dance in my culture. Like, but there's not gonna be any audio. After that, we're gonna continue. I'm not gonna stay there for that long. So I just wanna pass by there and see what's popping. The place is packed. But if you guys want to see, because it's a heritage day, so there's gonna be people who are dancing. But I still wanna like finish with the topic today. So if you wanna see what goes on, like how people in my culture dance, you can tell me in the comment, and because I'm gonna go back, so I'm not gonna end the live, but there won't be sound at all because of copyright problems. So it'll just be a video. So you tell me in the comments. Yeah, it's really packed. Like there are a lot of people today. I didn't expect. I didn't expect this. I didn't think there was gonna be this many people. I actually wanna play some few games of snooker before I come this side. I actually brought my stick. So hopefully I can show you how. Alright, that means I'll see what I'm gonna do. Like maybe not end the life or maybe create another life. Because I think there's a reason why it's packed. Like people really like they perform like this is like literally like the best places where people from my tribe gather. You know, so they dance in many different ways. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, it's really important to study reality, man. It's really, really important to try to study reality, to not assume that things are what they seem. It's one of the biggest mistakes that we're making every day, man. So what really keeps me going is wanting to learn, wanting to understand, even if I do not get like the final answers, I don't figure out fully what is going on, but at least I will have gotten close to what is possible. And through these experiences, I'm also expanding my awareness. I'm figuring out what, now it's 2025. We also know that, there is artificial intelligence, and looking at what it's capable of can also help you look at life differently. There are some people who now are starting to think that, we live in a realm that is controlled by artificial intelligence, and it makes complete sense. It seems that we're being controlled by something that is not conscious, but that is very advanced. It's like if you're trying to win Aviator and you be like, oh, I'm gonna figure it out, and you think that it's a human that's controlling it, but you find that it's actually a machine, right? Or you're trying to win the lottery. I mean, of course it does seem rigged sometimes, last month it was discovered in South Africa, like the people who were winning the lottery were people who were actually working for the company, But it seems like there is something that is not conscious that is controlling reality, and what it's focusing on is fooling us, right? It's fooling sentient beings. So it's fooling beings with consciousness, the same way that the lottery machine will fool you. So you never get the right numbers every time. It's able to predict which numbers a lot of people ain't gonna guess. Same with Aviator. Sometimes with Aviator, there is what we call happy hour. You find that you're making money, but then after that hour, it starts to chow you. Every day, the machine ensures that profit is being made, right? It's not about giving money away. It's about making profit at the end of the day. So it feels like there is something artificial that is controlling reality, and that is ensuring that things don't go as planned, sometimes, and you'll be wondering why. You just be thinking that, hey man, only if I did this. You find that even if you did exactly what you think you should have done, things still wouldn't have gone your way. What if this thing is so advanced that if you were trying to win the lottery, let's say you got the wrong numbers, you didn't win. I'm saying, what if it's so advanced that even if you got the right numbers, those numbers wouldn't come out. Like what will come out is different numbers again, because you were never supposed to win. So you look at it and be like, oh, it's because I got the wrong number. While the real truth is that you weren't supposed to win. Whether you got the right numbers or the wrong. I had to stop the audio for a while so that we don't get a copyright strike here. But yeah, what we must understand is that there's a lot about reality that we don't get. And it's up to us to truly be open-minded, as we are learning, because we are still here. You are still in the game. You can learn. You can figure out what this is. You can. I do believe you can. Even if nothing outside of you is going to confirm to you that you'll figure it out, I will be careful. I will be careful. And thanks for telling me, because things happen, man. You never know what's gonna happen next, and things can happen that can like ruin your life forever. You know what I'm saying? Can get hit by a car, stuff like that does happen. So if you're not careful, so yeah, it's good, but we're not truly in control. There's another thing. We're not truly in control. I have to switch off the mic again. But yeah, it's really like it really does make sense to think that this realm is controlled by something artificial, something that doesn't have consciousness. This reminds me of this other movie. I haven't watched the actual movie, but I've watched the recap. So in the movie there was this guy who was working for a company. He accepted some terms and conditions without reading them. So he found himself in this room that was controlled by artificial intelligence. He was supposed to undergo a training that's going to make him perform. So the artificial intelligence has to make sure that he go through all kinds of things to actually become a perfect employee, right? Sometimes it will show him his wife, like, you know what, if you don't perform, I think it's called the Mill. Yeah, the name of the movie is The Mill. If you don't perform, your wife will be brought here and she will starve with you, and you will do this together. And if you still keep on losing, you're gonna die and your children are gonna, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it kind of feels like that. You're not given answers about anything. You're seeing technology, reaching levels that you didn't even think were possible. Like, a lot of things are confusing. So isn't it important to try to figure out what is really going on ourselves? Without lying to ourselves very much. Because I don't think it helps. I don't think making assumptions without questioning everything helps. I think, yes, at some point we'll need to take a leap of faith, but after you have done enough work, you're like, you know what, man, I've done all the work that I can do. I believe that after everything that I've experienced, this is the final truth. This is what is really going on. This is reality. And here's how I'm going to grow, right? You figure out how you're gonna grow. But hopefully, we keep on evolving, keep on reaching higher levels, and figuring out what truly makes sense. Thank you all guys for watching. What I will do, I think I'm gonna go back that side. And the next video will just be me recording, people dancing, doing what we do, but now I need to meet some people. We need to talk about something. So, but thank you all guys.